Welcome to the Rivalry of the Week pregame show. I'm Amanda Kuhl from Fox 56 Sports. Tonight, it's the second round of the PIAA Class A playoffs as Bishop McDevitt, the District 12 champ, takes on Old Forge from District 2. The Blue Devils are relying on their playoff experience, which last week helped them overcome 11 penalties and beating Wellsboro 28-21. Old Forge enters the game ranked third in the latest state rankings. It's their highest ranking since ending the 2013 season at number 2. And this isn't the Bishop McDevitt out of Harrisburg that produced NFL stars like LaShawn McCoy. The Lancers' home is in Wincott, which is just outside of Philadelphia. And this is the farthest the school has ever gotten in the state playoffs. We'll be back here at halftime on MyTV for a chat with 3 members of the Dunmore football team that play tomorrow. Let's get you out to Broadheadsville with Bob, John, and Aaron.
Old Forge is in a familiar spot when it comes to the state playoffs.
You know, they learned from the experience of being involved in the playoffs to play extra games. So I'd say they're definitely a blue-collar team.
And that work ethic has the Blue Devils looking to overachieve one more time against a team that has more speed than they have seen.
You know, hopefully we can compete in the special teams aspect of the game and not let them have big plays there. And you know, do our thing on offense. You know, we want to run the football. We want to come off the ball. We want to control the line of scrimmage. That'll be a big test for us.
It's the PIAA Class A quarterfinals. It's Bishop McDevitt and Old Forge. Next.
6'5" and all, he's going to reach for the end zone. He gets in, Raiders score. Switches hands, and see you later. He is
Fox 56 Sports presents the Rivalry of the Week on MyTV WQMY.
And the celebration starts on the Dunmore sideline. Dunmore touchdown.
From Pleasant Valley High School in Broadheadsville, it's the PIAA Class A playoffs as District 12 champion Bishop McDevitt takes on District 2 champion Old Forge. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob I, joined tonight by my partner in the booth, John Mandola, and Aaron Dugan, who will be on the sidelines. And John, Old Forge has won 9 straight since losing to Lake Lehman in week number 4. Other than last week's game against Wellsboro, they really haven't been tested. That will change tonight with the Lancers and Dante Mason.
Well, he brings a lot of speed. I mean, 2 kickoff returns last week, really fast, Mason and crew. So Old Forge is going to have to be up to the task of playing at full speed right off the get-go.
One fast team against Mondo Salavanti. He has to have a big game from his linebacker position.
156 tackles for him this year. He's going to need to wrap. They're going to have to gang tackle, make sure guys go to the ground, because these guys are pretty elusive from McDevitt and can make you burn 78 yards, 85 yards, you name it. So Mondo's going to have to lead the defense.
Old Forge is looking for the Eastern Final for the second time in 3 years. Bishop McDevitt stands in their way. The starting lineups and the opening kick are on the way.
This is a Fox 56 Sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
Here come the Old Forge Blue Devils looking for their 13th win on the season, followed by the hot Bishop McDevitt team that's won 4 straight. Welcome back, everyone, to Pleasant Valley High School in Broadheadsville. Both teams are on the field. Nice crowd here down from the Old Forge section, the pizza capital of the world, John. As we know, Old Forge won the toss. They will receive, so that means we'll see that running offense that I know Mike Schuback wants to control that time of possession, John.
Yeah, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. You know, if you get out to a lead, this team's so explosive. They come back and could get a little scary. But if they get out to get a lead on you, if you're Old Forge, catching up to them because they're so fast. So it's going to be interesting how the game unfolds, what your philosophy is going to be. I think Joey Gutowski is going to be a major contributor tonight. We'll talk more about him as the game goes on and some key parts of it.
Alex Wilson, the senior, has it teed up for the Lancers. Deep to receive, Jared Horn. Philip Palmer Also deep for Old Forge. It's been teed up for a long time. The Lancers, little squib kick to begin this. This is Horn. Horn with some room up to the 35-yard line, and that's where Old Forge will start their first drive of the game. Here are the Northwoods Nissan starting lineup. Cooper Califano having another great year, 1,200 yards, 21 touchdowns out of his running back position. Jared Horn is back after an injury when we last saw this team. 31 receptions on the year, 4 touchdowns. Up front, they're big and strong, 6'3", 295. Dylan Wilcox will control that right tackle position. So, John, they start this drive, 11:54 on the clock. We'll see how much time they can take off. Califano has a hole. Califano off to the races. Cooper Califano, touchdown Old Forge. That didn't take long at all. "65 yards. It's a Lenahan and Dempsey touchdown, John. Doesn't get any quicker than that.
It's as good as it gets if you're a Blue Devil fan, that's for sure. There it is, that carry on the left-hand side, meandering his way through. And then Cooper Califano just striding that thing out.
I was impressed that they weren't able to catch him from behind as Horn's in for the extra point. Goes to the left a little bit, and it will be good. So 18 seconds into this game, the Blue Devils lead 7-0. We'll take our first time out on MyTV.
Cooper with the finish.
Welcome back to Pleasant Valley. Old Forge out quickly. 18 seconds into this game, Califano gets his 22nd touchdown on the year, John. Nice hole off that left side. Good blocking up front.
Yeah, excellent execution. That's what you want on your first play. Establish your line up front, and then it was Cooper Califano off to the races.
I think if you're Mike Schuback, you want time of possession, but you'll take the touchdown any day.
You absolutely will. Now let's see if they could wrap up and set the tone defensively.
Horn, little squib kick. They don't want to get it to Mason with some running room. Devin Nichols has it, and he's wrapped up at the 27. And that's where the Lancers will take over their first possession of the game. So here's the Northwoods Nissan starting offense for Bishop McDevitt. Vince DeLeo in the backfield, a powerful runner, has 898 yards on the season. Watch out for Jerome Macon on the outside. Excellent speed, 10 touchdowns on the season. They're not big up front, but they get the job done. Ryan Ford's the biggest offensive lineman. He's their tackle, 6'1", 285. Just a sophomore, though. So is Max Bryson, who gets the start at the quarterback. He was injured at the end of the season. He came back last week against Marion. He completes his first pass. Looks like it's out to DeLeo, and good yardage on the first play of the game for Bishop McDevitt.
McDevitt had a trip set over to the left-hand side. Old Forge defended it with two guys close. They had the safety at about 12 yards off. Then they bring the back to the back in motion and swing him out, basically, and they get a little bit of room out there. So just a little outman that time, the Blue Devils. We'll see McDevitt try to create some space.
Lancers will spread you out in their offense. Now they have 5 wide receivers up to the line of scrimmage. Only the quarterback in the backfield. Bad snap, he picks it up. Nailed by Salavanti. Third down on the way.
Well, they want to get the ball over in Dante Mason's hands. He was over there just hanging out. They tried to get this ball back, but it just trickled through to Max Bryson, the junior quarterback, who has 1,250 yards this year. But Mason does it with his feet. Could do a little bit with his arm as well this season.
So a big third down on the way. It looks like Mason now will go to that quarterback position. We'll see a lot of shuffling between Mason and Bryson, depending on what play they want to call. So here's number 10 in the backfield. He can throw a good ball, but his feet do the damage. Now already we have a stoppage. Let's see what the officials say. Looks like we have a penalty. Legal substitution, John. Alex Lubis is our referee tonight. The refereeing crew out of District 3, the Reading area.
Well, you're pretty excited. Hey, we're backing them up so far, a couple downs, but this is the type of team that on the 3rd and 9, they'll explode for a bunch. So, you know, right now, Old Forge has to think, okay, we got to contain this number 10. Can't get them outside the pocket. We got to watch the receivers, make sure we wrap up.
Change the play. This is Bryson at quarterback, number 11, the southpaw. Wings it out and tries to hit Canfield, his tight end, but it looks like we have a flag down.
Wow, that was a late flag.
11 penalties last week, John, for Old Forge in that game at Wellsboro, with Wellsboro.
Well, I didn't see it in the initial play. I thought it was just a great effort over there from Old Forge. If it's called against the Blue Devils, I can't see pass interference, so we got a face mask.
I think
5-yard penalty.
I don't know if we can see it again, but maybe when he came from the opposite side from behind him, he grabbed the face mask.
Well, you don't want to give him another opportunity. You do it with the 3rd down and 4.5 now. But let's watch it again. You see the southpaw rolling over that way. Salavanti coming up. And then here it is. Yep, he does get the face mask. So the official was right on looking at it and got the right call in there.
Looks like Hobbs was there on the play for Old Forge. So 3rd down still, but a little shorter for the Lancers. Again, all kinds of movement.
Ryan Ford, one of the left tackles, I think, moved a little bit.
So a couple mistakes here early on for Bishop McDevitt. Now this Bishop McDevitt is all the Wincott area near Philadelphia, not the Harrisburg Bishop McDevitt.
And they do have 4 underclassmen, Bob, on that offensive line. So just one senior as the left guard in Robbie Brett.
Bryson remains the QB. Here comes the blitz. Bryson, didn't look downfield too long.
Another flag we got.
Right in the middle of the flag is, right where he was stopped. 101 yards of penalties for Old Forge last week at Scranton High School. Another face mask, second one on this drive. Another 5-yarder. It's like a tug of war, John. 5 this way, 5 that way.
Well, one thing, I guess, you know, somewhere in there was a face mask. Never heard of a face mask on the topping of your pizza, but maybe that's going to be a new one.
Yeah. Contarella there on the stop. So maybe we'll get this 3rd down play in the first quarter. Times continues to pass here. Old Forge up early, 7-0. Bryson nowhere to go. Taken out of the backfield. Brendan Mozaleski. Here comes the punt team.
Mozaleski had that nice tackle on the kick return. And then Mozaleski comes up with another one here, just chasing the quarterback. See, Moz, he decides to keep coming, gets enough of a wrap on that one leg, and brings it at 5'10", 200 pounds, 81 tackles coming in to this ball game.
Give all the credit to the secondary. No one was open for Bryson to throw to. He is also the punter. Another bad snap. Here comes the rush. Low kick. Well, Forge takes it. They'll have good field position to begin this drive as Gutowski falls down at the 45-yard line. So experience playing a factor so far in this game. A lot of penalties for the inexperienced team. And Aaron, Old Forge, though, looking to continue what is become a dynasty.
Definitely, Bob. A great start tonight for Old Forge, and being here in the state playoffs is nothing new for the Blue Devils. In the last 5 years, they've either been district champs or runner-ups. You can take a look at our graphic now. In the last 5 years, they only have 8 combined losses. Pretty impressive. And the seniors on this team were sophomores when they made it to the Class A final in 2002. So lots of experience, and they're really hoping to use that experience to their advantage tonight, Bob.
Yeah, John, it's been quite a run for this team. Over 55 wins through that period. One trip to the state finals, couple trips to maybe to the Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Finals of PIAA, I should say. So they try to continue that this year.
Yeah, they've done it with, again, just some physical play. I mean, that's what you get out of a small single-A school in northeastern Pennsylvania. A lot of pride in the community, and these kids have done it. And there's some athletes on the team. We saw what they did in that opening drive with Califano.
They're going to continue to run it up the middle. That's where Bishop McDevitt has been susceptible this year in giving up big plays.
Right now, a little frustration over on McDevitt's side. They're playing with some emotion. You see a couple of the players getting excited here. You see the block up front by Mazaleski, but what effort you had there from McDevitt. Just a surge at the line of scrimmage. They're coming fast and furious up front.
So here comes third down on the way. Mike Schuback calling the plays. '14th season for the Old Forge graduate who's took this team over, has turned them into a champion each and every year. Here comes the blitz. They're going to hand it off. Califano weaving his way through inside Lancer territory. First down, Old Forge.
Old Forge is catching McDevitt. You know, they're chasing the play. They're really trying to. They're playing just stand up and just go after the football. It looks like a little bit of freelancing as you watch. Hey, pick a gap and fire away, and they get Old Forge now to jump off by them being a little anxious.
Another yellow hanky on the ground here early on.
Snap. Full start on the offense. Still first down.
I think McDevitt now playing that risky defense where we're saying, hey, we're going to sell out on the run. We're going to get guys in every gap we could, and we're daring you to do something. Now, you may see a couple plays for loss, but you may see that break-off 50-yarder from Old Forge if they can get through that initial line of scrimmage.
Don't forget Salavante out of that tight end spot as well. Gutowski can throw the ball. He's thrown for over 1,100 yards and 13 touchdowns. Nice job by Bishop McDevitt to string it out. Only a couple yards on first down for him. So now let's take a look at the Northwoods Nissan starting defense for the Lancers. So Bishop McDevitt. Watch out, Amir Lockhart has 6 sacks on the year from his defensive end position. Linebackers very quick. Camfield, 2 sacks on the year. Just a sophomore, 6'2". And behind them, again, that speed will come into play. Jerron Macon getting the start tonight. He did have an interception for a touchdown last week against Marion. First throw of the night. Salavante pulling his way through up to the 45, so third and long on the way for the Blue Devils.
You know, if you could get a draw play or maybe a screen, get these guys upfield. You see the play to Salavante here in the flat as you tried to get Hobb to clear for you. Salavante got wrapped up. Let's see what Old Forge tries to do here on third and long, Bob.
He has Hobbs over the middle. He didn't see him. Gutowski going downfield. Has a guy. Flag down in the secondary. Pass caught by Cariotti all the way down to the 23-yard line. But we do have a flag in the secondary.
Well, this if you get Joey Gutowski in space, he is that good. Now, they have speed, but you know what? Gutowski has ability, speed, and you see him make that completion as this is going to go against McDevitt. Excellent, excellent effort there from Gutowski, being able to see the field and get the ball down to one of his receivers.
So it looks like a 22-yard gain on the pass play from Old Forge. The penalty was declined. They'll move the chains. Holding in the secondary is the call. First down, Old Forge from the 22.
I think the Blue Devils will continue to try to run the football, Bob. Again, we'll see some pressure from McDevitt here up front.
Califano getting the edge. Has blocks. Califano, touchdown, no flags, 22 yards. It's another Lenahan and Dempsey touchdown for the Blue Devils.
Well, you think Old Forge Pizza, you think of some cuts, and Cooper Califano has one, and then he puts on the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious touchdown number 2 for number 21.
Two possessions, 2 touchdowns for the Blue Devils, and they're out in this one early. Horn on for the extra point. Blocked, but a flag is down. Maybe offsides. Bishop McDevitt really showing their inexperience in these state playoffs in this game.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. You want the distance? You want the distance? You want the distance?
So 4:48 remaining in the first quarter. And let's see if now Mike Schuback wants to go for 2 or he'll do the extra point. It was blocked, so you would think take the yardage, kick it again.
They're coming off that edge really fast and really hard.
So Gutowski comes on. Looks like they will go for 2 after they get half the distance to the goal on the penalty. So Old Forge now trying to increase their lead to 15. Straight handoff. Califano stopped short of the goal line, but the kick, the touchdown, I should say, is good. So 6 more points for Old Forge, 13-0 Blue Devils. Midway through the first quarter.
Salerno's Cafe, located in downtown Old Forge, proud to support Old Forge Blue Devils. From all your friends at Salerno's Cafe, congrats to the Old Forge Blue Devils and Coach Mike Schuback on a great season. Good luck, Blue Devils.
Well, there's Mike Schuback, 14th season, 127 wins, John, and really the team takes the personality of the coach.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they're blue collar all the way, and the kids show it. I don't know if there's a comfortable lead against a team like McDevitt. You know, we say, we got this, we got this. Hey, very early in this game, explosiveness from McDevitt. You're going to have to contain them. Starts with the kickoff, as we mentioned in the pregame, Bob. This number 10, he took back 2 of them last week for touchdowns.
Well, they're not going to kick it to him. There you see Pat Manzi for Bishop McDevitt. He's in his 33rd season, 188 wins, 4th all-time in the Philadelphia Catholic League. And again, knowing Coach Schuback, they will not kick the ball to Mason tonight. They don't care where they give them the ball, they won't kick to them. So it's down at the 41-yard line. Chance now to look at the Northwoods Nissan Old Forge defense. Kentarella, a senior, 43 tackles on the year, 13 of those for a loss. Linebackers, well, we have Celavanti, but you also have Mozaleski, 81 tackles for him, 13 for a loss, 6 sacks and an interception. Not a bad season for the sophomore. And Gutowski, well, he's all over the place. 12 interceptions for the senior safety. There's that speed. Cutting through is Mason inside Blue Devil territory at the 43.
First up, you got to find Dante Mason. He's only about 5'9", maybe 160 pounds. That's a maybe as well. He looks more like about 5'7", a $135. Very small in stature, but he's pretty darn quick and elusive. He kind of hides a little bit, and you see the linebackers chasing him. He finally gets tripped up.
15 yards for Mason. Let's see now if the Lancers can get this offense rolling down early in the first. Mason's first throw is high, out there intended for Macon. Goes incomplete. Mason has thrown for 663 yards, 10 touchdowns, 37 of 87, so he can throw the rock a little bit.
Not a bad throw. Came up a little bit high, but the throwing motion okay. Again, his partner in the backfield, Bryson, is a junior. Mason's the senior. And it was Bryson who threw for over 1,200 yards this year. He's number 11, not in right now.
Mason keeps, he's chased. Throws downfield, it goes incomplete. 2 receivers in the vicinity. One of those is down, and also looks like Hobbs for Old Forge. A lot of banging going on, John, downfield.
Yeah, that's a tough play on both young men who kind of had that big collision over there on that side. So obviously, hopefully it's just the wind knocked out of them and they're okay. But you watch the replay. Remember we talked about wrapping? You have to wrap. You got to make tackles. You can't let him get away. And you see the bodies just kind of colliding over there.
Javon Camfield down for Bishop McDevitt, the 6'2" tight end. Both players remain on the field. Hopefully they're okay. Camfield is up now, walking around. Hobbs remains down. So far, John, other than that one big play for Mason, Old Forge doing a nice job early on containing Bishop McDevitt.
Yeah, I mean, Hobbs gets up, so he's moving around a little bit. I'm sure number 10 is going to have the ball in his hands on this third down, so we'll see what Old Forge can do. If you're able to stop them on this drive, you know, they're kind of in a territory where are they going to kick it or are they going to go for it, depending on what they get here. They may not want to get this game too far out of control on their end. So could be 2-down territory for a first down.
We talked about Mason's touchdowns last week on the kickoffs. Bishop McDevitt only scored 1 offensive touchdown last week against Marion. The other one came on at pick 6. So if they don't kick the ball to Mason, you would think that Old Forge has a shot. And right now they up early, 13-0 in the first quarter.
Now they got Mason in the slot, so now he's dangerous as a receiver.
A little bit of a rush going downfield. That's Macon. Touchdown Lancers. 42 yards from Max Bryson, his 14th touchdown pass of the year.
This young fella's a sophomore. See the junior quarterback, Bryson, thrown down to Jerron Macon. Gets a lot of separation over there, and he scores his 11th touchdown.
Macon hauls it in for his 11th touchdown on the year. Wilson on for the extra point. And and the Lancers can cut into this Blue Devil lead here in the first quarter. Kick is up, and it is good. So the firepower from Bishop McDevitt on display as Bryson Tamakin makes it 13-7.
State Representative Sid Michaels-Kavulich would like to congratulate the Old Forge Blue Devils on their championship quest. Go Blue Devils!
So we are back in Broadheadsville. 20 points put on the board so far, John, and pretty much what we expected. Old Forge showing their power on the ground, and Bishop McDevitt showing their speed as well.
You always want to try to keep a little cushion here against a speedy team like McDevitt, knowing how explosive they are. It seems the Blue Devils could get back in, score another one.
Another squibber. Mozaleski pulls it in, and Old Forge will begin their third drive of this quarter at their own 37-yard line.
Definitely going to be a game of, chess match in the sense of what Old Forge is going to try to do to combat the speed, and everybody's selling out for that run for McDevitt tonight. They feel that they could put their man on the outside and let it fly and let the chips fall where they may.
Now it's up to Old Forge, put a little drive together themselves. This time they catch Califano in the backfield. Nice play by Vince DeLeo, the senior linebacker.
One of the bigger ones on the defense, 6'1", 205. As we see the touchdown that got McDevitt on the board to get them down now by just 6.
And now if you're Old Forge, you know that they're really, John, putting the pressure on. They're selling out. Have to go to a different play. Gutowski pressure. Finds the edge and some running room and is pushed out of bounds up past the 40 to the 44.
His leg gave out over there. Hopefully that's a cramp. But if you watch towards the end of the play, right now he's hurt.
Oh boy, this could be a huge loss for the Blue Devils. Their quarterback, senior leader, down on the ground.
Towski trying to get around the edge. Not that you want to speculate, but right there, kind of right before he went down, leg kind of looked like it gave out a little bit. I'm not sure if that just cramped up or what.
This is a turf field here at Pleasant Valley. John, would you call it a hard turf or soft? I mean, there's a difference. We've seen two different kinds this year.
Yeah, I thought the surface was a little harder than maybe some of the other surfaces we've been at. I think Lake Lehman I would consider maybe a little softer.
New Scranton High School has a nice turf.
Mm-hmm.
So now Gutowski remains on the ground, and we don't want to speculate at all. So let's take a look at the impact players, guys. We know have to have some good play today, and Califano and Salavanti, two of the running backs. Salavanti sometimes playing the tight end position. And Canfield, we've seen a little bit of him already out of linebacker.
Yeah, and if Cooper Califano can continue to run the football, but I do think you're going to need that dual threat of throwing and running. And then over on the other side, you mentioned the linebacker play, and they have a lot of guys that are just pursuing to the ball right now.
So Joey Gutowski, senior quarterback, remains on the field over near the Bishop McDevitt sideline. The backup is Paul Cariotti. He does have experience. He's played a little bit last couple of years. Has 288 yards throwing and 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and well, it doesn't look good right now.
How about a flag, bro?
Again, it looked like the turf, you know, when he planted the foot, John. Seen some of that with the ankle and the knee, but I mean, he's walking, so that's a good sign.
Yep. Got a little bit of pressure on it, so it's okay. Going to be a big part of the basketball team this year as well, and they already had to delay the start of the exhibition season, Old Forge, because you know, there's some players here on the football team. Obviously, our thoughts are with Joey to get back and move around a little bit, and hopefully he feels better.
Aaron Dugan will check on that, I'm sure, on the sideline a little bit. Keep our eye on Joey Gutowski. So Paul Cariotti now comes in at quarterback. Very able. He can throw the ball. He can run as well. And we've seen some good runs already from Cooper Califano. So I think more than anything, he maybe missed more on the defensive side, John.
Well, you saw all the eyes of his players looking at him, knowing he's such a big part of this team. So just keeping their confidence up will be important.
Califano weaves close to a Blue Devil first down past the 46. Depends on the mark.
I think it's going to be a little short. And now decision time for Mike Schubeck.
4th and short, about a yard. Let's see what Coach Schubeck wants to do.
Nice job on that left-hand side. A man-on-man, hat-on-hat for the Blue Devils. Canarella got a huge block over there, 6'1", 255-pounder.
He will go for it.
Real tight splits here.
Move it, and look, they will get Old Forge, I think, on the movement.
They got a timeout. One official saying it's a timeout.
Okay. And I think you are correct, John.
I think we did see the movement, but just got that timeout in, I guess.
So Old Forge dodges that bullet a little bit, calling the timeout right before there was movement up front.
Cafe Rinaldi is a proud sponsor of the Old Forge football program. Visit Cafe Rinaldi for a taste of Italy in downtown Old Forge. Open for dinner Monday through Saturday at 426 South Main Street, Old Forge. Good luck, Blue Devils, from your friends at Cafe Rinaldi.
Well, John, I mean, so far, the offensive line at Old Forge has been doing a nice job against the defensive front. You would think they get a push here. They see what happens. They spread them out, though.
Will McDevitt buy the spread out?
They're actually going to punt. They're in point formation. Fake. Mozaleski powers through. Inside Lancer territory. Still on his feet up to the 43-yard line. Now the officials come together. I don't see a flag down, John, that I can tell. Maybe. There is. Looks like there was a flag. It's going to go against Old Forge.
Still a first
Still
down.
a first down.
Well, I'd take a first down over than not a first down. So you're here, Coach Schubeck's going to get the explanation of what happened.
So in an odd set of circumstances, the ball goes back 15 yards. It must have been come after the play. They're back to the 43-yard line, their own 43-yard line.
They've had a couple of face masks. They've had a personal foul. So Old Forge still up on the scoreboard, and they're up in the penalties. But they got to try to keep their heads up here in this first quarter. It says really stretching out a long first quarter.
Well, they keep the ball, and Califano knocked down by Mason. Couple yards on that. Aaron has been checking out Joey Gutowski. And Aaron, what can you tell us from your vantage point?
Well, we saw him being helped off of the field. It hasn't looked good since then. He's been on the bench, sitting down, getting his right knee worked on ever since. He seems to be in a lot of pain. He's getting it wrapped right now from one of the trainers. But from the looks of pain on his face, Bob, I'm not sure we'll see him back in this game.
Thanks, Aaron. Comes Califano, and nowhere to go. Loss of almost 4 yards, back to the 40-yard line.
A lot of white jerseys over there as these guys are flying around to the football. See the pursuit. Califano gets it. They can't block number 3. We talked about him. And then number 2 finishes the tackle. So is DeLeo, who we brought up. And then, of course, Amir Lockhart. Only 5'9", 165 is a junior defensive end. Those guys a little smaller are pretty hard to block.
But now they're just daring Old Forge to put the ball in the air. And clock is stopped on 3rd and long. 51 seconds left, and as John mentioned, a very long first quarter. Old Forge took their first 2 possessions, took a 13-0 lead before the Lancers came back on a long pass play, and that's what the scoring has been here in the first quarter. So now let's see if they have Cariotti throw the ball or if they keep it on the ground. Califano stopped in the backfield, shooting in again Lockhart. 4th down on the way for Old Forge. So that personal foul penalty really hurt the Blue Devils on this drive.
Right now, McDevitt looks like they're just getting comfortable, warmed up defensively as to how they're coming after the Blue Devils. See just some sidestep in there. They know, listen, these guys are a little bigger than us. We're going to use our speed and a quickness to our advantage.
And that will do it. Before the punt can get off, quarter number 1 is in the book. Blue Devils holding on to a 6-point lead after 1.
We're the Old Forge Cheerleaders, and you're watching the Class A quarterfinal on MyTV WQMY.
We are back in Broadheadsville, Pleasant Valley High School. Old Forge, 13 unanswered before Bishop McDevitt got their touchdown. It's 4th down for the Blue Devils. They'll have to punt it. Good punt. They split the receivers, unable to get his hands on the ball. And Bishop McDevitt comes out to the 26-yard line. John, your impressions of the first quarter? Old Forge making it look easy in their first 2 possessions, but things have kind of settled down a little bit.
Yeah, I think you had that feeling, knowing what you've heard about McDevitt. You watched him on film, right?
Yeah.
Saw this week and saw how fast they are. And you, one of the little emails you said, hey, fast. They're not just single fast. They're fast more than once. And I think we'll see that throughout this evening. It's, again, dependent on how Old Forge could wrap up and tackle.
Pass completed out to Mason from Bryson. 12 yards on that. This is, I think, where Gutowski will be missed. 11 interceptions coming in, and he is out with an apparent knee injury. So he'll be replaced back there by Hobbs and some other guys. Palmater and Febo, too.
Gutowski right now trying to work his way on the sideline to get back into it. So
Well, he's running around. I don't know. We'll see. Bryson pressured, taken down in the backfield. Michael Contarella, 5th sack of the year.
You got some big heavies, but you know what? The motors don't stop here on this defensive front. Cantarella keeps coming and coming, and a sacking and a packing.
I got to tell you, John, but looking at Gutowski on the side, still looks like he's in pain. He, as you said, he gave it a whirl, running up and down the sidelines, and I know Aaron's keeping an eye on him. So we'll have to see. He's not limping now. That's a good sign. I don't know. We'll keep your eye on that, as will Aaron. Big second down now. Mason flushed. Taken down, short gain, about 4. Good pressure put on by the defensive line.
That's a win for Old Forge. I mean, you're able to contain him enough where he got a little bit, but, you know, he didn't round that corner and get to cut upfield, so good pursuit. As you'll see the defense for Old Forge, Cooper Califano right there. You got to keep coming, man. You can't stop that motor, not with a kid like Mason. That's one of those, you know, one of those kind of guys where you miss the tackle and fall down, you better get up. You may be making that tackle 20 yards downfield.
Bryson surveying. Flag comes in. Almost intercepted by Horn. He knocks it down, but again, flag down. Back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it came through the secondary, so I'm not sure if there was holding.
Again, the referees out of the Reading area, District 3, Alan Lupus.
Looks like it may be holding up front, Bob.
We're talking to the Old Forge team. Remember, the ball went incomplete.
Illegal formation by the offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Good job by the defense for the Blue Devils.
You see here, Bryson trying to survey it and getting a paw and just kind of batting that thing away for the Blue Devils was Jarrett Horn. 6 foot on 175-pound senior.
Bryson now in to kick it away. Last time they punted, the snap rolled to the punter. Now McDevitt confused on their formation.
I think we're going to see Gutowski back on
I do
offense.
Too. Low kick. Taken by Hobbs. He's got running room. Inside McDevitt territory up to the 39. Knocked out of bounds. By number 51, Daniel Church for the Lancers. Good field position for the Blue Devils.
Nice job over here. Hobbs just, hey, get down the sideline as fast as you could. And they take him out of bounds, but already into McDevitt territory as Gutowski guts it out and gets back into this ball game.
And a big cheer from the Blue Devils faithful here. They've made the hour-plus trip into Monroe County. It's Cariotti, though, who will remain the quarterback. Gonna go long. Looked like Horn was held. No flag down in the secondary.
Just when you think, Gutowski's coming back in, there's no way he's going to be running around. I'll probably let him sit as a quarterback. He does a fly route on the first play as they try to throw the post over here. No flag. I didn't see anything. I mean, the defender fell, but I didn't see any contact.
So Gutowski is going to take the snap. Califano dragged out the line of scrimmage. Nice job by Nasir Pettis.
And Lancers defense doing a nice job. Pettis, one of those sophomores up front. So they have a bunch of seniors on this defense, the Lancers do. But chasing them down was one of the sophomores, Nasir Pettis. So, you know, the starting lineup, Bob, 3 sophomores and a junior defensively.
Last year, Bishop McDevitt finished the year 3-5. So having a nice year in 2015. Out on the flat, Mozaleski has room. Makes a move, has a first down. Powers his way to the 22. $18 yards for Brendan Mozaleski.
Mozaleski has been a big play guy tonight for the Blue Devils of Old Forge. Watch this, just enough. And then that was wide open over there. Great block downfield. He got out of Horn, who held his guy down there. And then it's just Mozaleski. Look at the muscle he has, just carrying guys. Salavanti helping, pushing the pile a little bit.
Old Forge looking to extend their lead. Califano. 3rd touchdown of the night. 22 yards for CC. It's another Lenahan Dempsey touchdown. Old Forge extends the lead.
Joey Gutowski brings another level of confidence with his Old Forge offense, blocking downfield. Everybody matters, and Califano, 3 times he hits pay dirt.
39-yard drive. Old Forge extends their lead. Took 4 plays, another flag down. It's gonna go against the Lancers. Will he go for 2 again?
On the defense. Half the distance to the goal, repeat the try.
Bishop McDevitt hasn't lost since they lost by 11 to Conwell Egan. 31-20. It's 5 games ago. They look a little shaken, John. Every time Old Forge, they don't know what to do.
I think every point matters, so this is a big 2-point conversion.
Califano again pushes through. Nice job by the Lancers. And again, coming up is Amir Lockhart, number 2, and they fall short. But Old Forge up now 12. 8:47 remaining in the second quarter.
Torquato Drilling Accessories, been serving drilling contractors worldwide since 1982. Join our friends and neighbors in wishing Old Forge Blue Devils good luck this evening in their football game against the Bishop McDevitt Royal Lancers.
Bye-bye, John Mendola, Aaron Dugan. We are in Broadheadsville. Some of the students have made their way down from Old Forge. Winner of this game plays Camp Hill or Bishop Guilfoyle in the Eastern Final, John, next most likely Friday night. So we'll keep our eye on that, try to get you a score between District 6 and District 3 on the other side of this bracket.
Lengthy discussion here on the kickoff as to what they're going to do. So again, Old Forge get some interesting info. Watch what happened to set up that last touchdown. Right off the bat, we had Hobbs. Then, of course, Mozaleski, what he was able to do, a little power football right there. And then Cooper Califano gets into open space and finishes the job for the Blue Devils. Second 2-point conversion comes up a little bit short. Both of them were runs.
Pretty sure Horn will keep it on the ground. They do. They squib it over to Nichols. Nichols taken down, 27-yard line. So Mason takes 2 back last week against Marion. And I know Coach Schuback talked to Stan DeCoste. And Coach said that was a mistake on their part. And Aaron has some more friends from Old Forge, Aaron.
Section, they're having a blast. For being such a small school, you guys have a ton of people here.
It's always a struggle to get kids here. I do my best. I have a Twitter page, a Facebook account. I make flyers with the help of my associates. And I couldn't thank my associates enough.
Your associates?
Yes.
Great. So talk to me about this season. How much fun has it been following your guys?
It's awesome. I love coming out and watching them and cheering for them. It's a good time.
Why is it so important for you guys to come out and support the team?
Well, the boys love to play football, and we love to support them. Football is like a big sport at our school, and all of our fans come out, and we need to do our job and support them because they love to play for us.
So you guys are seniors now, down here. Now, do you remember when you made it to the state championship game 2012? What was that like?
It was crazy. It was awesome. Yeah. It's like no other thing that will ever happen to you.
So what do you think? Will it happen again?
Hopefully, we want it to.
Fingers crossed.
We can't
Fingers
jinx
crossed.
ourselves, but we hope.
Okay, no jinxing, Bob. Back to you.
No jinxing. Aaron, good luck getting out of there. Before the game, they were shouting her name and everything. Very, very famous in Old Forge is Aaron.
She's probably part of the associates there on the Twitter and Facebook, all that social media they're throwing out there.
I know.
Instagram.
So a big play while we were away a little bit with Aaron. Has the ball up to the 41-yard line. Gain of 13 from Bishop McDevitt. Old Forge had a player. Came off the field. Looks okay. Didn't get a number, though. So this is Bryson. Taken down again in the backfield. Salavante with the sack.
Mondo. That's Coach Schuback's nickname for Armando Salavante. Watch the closing right here. Eyes up Bryson, and then throw me down from Armando Salavante, the linebacker.
It's 9th sack of the year, 3rd already. And we have another injured player down. We've had a couple injuries already, John, and this is another Old Forge player.
Hey, violence is against God's teaching.
So a couple of players, if Bishop McDevitt wants to get back into this game, have to be Mason and Macon. We've already seen what they can do. Gutowski back there, again from his safety, is going to have to do a job, even with an injured knee and everything at this point.
Yeah, how long will Gutowski be able to go for the Blue Devils with that knee? He's trying to battle through it right now for the Blue Devils. So, you know, confidence is up. They have a couple touchdown lead. But McDevitt, again, that explosiveness of those particular 2 players. We saw one of them score a touchdown already. And you would think that Mason is going to get his hands near one at some point. Type of player that he is.
Another player down for Old Forge. Trying to get a number. Staff out there again. Coach Schuback out there as well.
Keystone General Manager Frank Scavo wishes the Blue Devils best of luck in tonight's game. Keystone is your one-stop for all your collision parts. From headlights to bumpers, call Keystone today for your Blue Devils special. Receive a 10% discount on your purchase. Roll Blue Devils.
Well, John, it's not good news again. The injured player was Gutowski. And He's favoring that knee that he can't, you know, he's trying, John. Work through it. Keep an eye on him again. 8:04 remaining in the second quarter. Second and long coming for the Lancers. Again, taken down in the backfield is Bryson. Nice play. Number 24, John, Ian Hook, the sophomore.
Well, there's deciding to stay with Bryson, the lefty, but he just is holding on to the football a lot. Be interesting to see if Mason holds on to the football if they put him in back there. He's going to run around like crazy. So right now, third and forever. How many third and forevers we have this year, Bob, during our season? It became a first down. So, you know, we heard the fans saying no jinxing, but, you know, you got to be able to execute right now if you're the Blue Devils and finish plays.
So Mason, Dante Mason is the quarterback, number 10. Official stopped the play. I don't know if someone timed out or it's hard to tell.
Dead ball.
Flag.
Delay a game on the offense. Still third down. On the snap.
Now you're back into third and forever, John. Third and 30 from the 21. Don't want to give anything over the top here if you're Old Forge. Mason's going to run. He could get there. Loses the ball. So they got it back, but he's well short of the first down. Tackled at the 35, fourth down on the way. Aaron keeping her eye on Joey Gutowski. Aaron, what have you seen?
Well, he was definitely in even more pain coming off the field than he was last time. To tell you the truth, I'm surprised he went back in that quickly after that first injury as he was kind of running around and trying to get things loose. You could just see his face kind of grimacing, but he toughed it out, went back in, obviously hurt that right knee again very badly. He's sitting on the back of a golf cart right now. I think he may go off soon. Bob, I'll keep an eye on it.
Thank you, Aaron. Little rugby-style kick. Does the job for McDevitt, and Mason will down it at the 32-yard line. 5:57 remaining in a long first half, John. A lot of flags, some injuries. You would think with both teams running the ball that it would go pretty fast, but no, it hasn't.
Nope, it's been that style of game, and right now for Old Forge, again, confidence. They need it. They're up a couple scores, but they got to be able to execute once again, and Califano has been able to rip a few off. Let's see if they can just keep battling and block at the point of attack and spring Califano once again with Paul Karate back at the quarterback position.
Another nice hole for Califano. Shoots up for about 6 yards.
Boy, Mazelewski literally ran over the defender for the Lancers. I mean, he just devastated his blocker, Ferralio. Look at that. That's a pancaker.
Yeah, on the line of scrimmage, it's been all Old Forge dominating that. No doubt about that up front.
Ferralio is a freshman, so welcome to some high school football.
Horn now the eye back. He has two hands on the ball, shoots through up to the 45. Gain of 7, first down, Blue Devils.
Boy, this is right now for Old Forge, 2 plays. You're like, okay, clock is running, we're executing. You're feeling really good about it. As much as we saw the Bishop McDevitt defense kind of do a little freestyle work, right now you're seeing guys on the ground as Old Forge is pancaking some of these defenders for Bishop McDevitt.
Fullback, Mazelewski, powers up for 4.
I would ride Mazelewski as long as you could here. He has been really powerful, and he looks like he's just very focused and determined tonight. just keep giving Maz the ball every so often. I think you'll spell some of these running backs you have and give them a little different look.
Lancers had a tough time in the game film I saw stopping that fullback trap. Anything up on the guard or the center, John, they had a tough time stopping that.
Yeah, and I think they're not real big up front. You know, I mean, they do have a couple of guys at D tackle that go 255 or so, but right now Old Ford's just a little more physical.
It's the Old Ford style. Califano, big hole again. Stiff arm. Califano, 4 touchdowns in the first half. 51 yards this time for a Lenahan and Dempsey touchdown.
This may be a new Italian dish at Old Forge. Give me a Cooper Califano. And he just finishes it one more time for the Blue Devils. And watch number 1 over here make it looks like he just gives up on it. Says, man, this guy's pretty darn good.
And Califano showing some speed as well, John. Timeout on the field as Califano has 4 touchdowns in the first half. He took the first play of the game, John, 65 yards. Then he had a touchdown later on of 22 yards. Another one for 22, and that one 51. So well over 100 yards of rushing for Califano in this first half. And Blue Devils are blowing this one open right now, and they're doing a nice job containing McDevitt from a defensive standpoint, John. Just that one long pass play.
How do you keep that foot on the gas pedal? Well, they're going to try with another 2-point conversion here and see if they can get this one. Seemed like they took a little extra time to draw this one up.
Mondo the eye back. And another flag.
We've had a flag on just about every
other play, yeah.
Every conversion it seems we've had. 3 of them.
Failed to wear proper equipment. The mouthpiece was not in. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the try.
That may be the first time I've ever seen that. Not like it's a rule, but I don't remember if I've ever seen that, John. Failure to have the mouthpiece in. Well, that's what it says.
Yep.
Got to have the mouthpiece in. Again, the winner to meet Camp Hill or Bishop Guilfoyle. 2 very good teams playing tonight. Horn now on for the extra point. This is high, and it is good. So a 19-point lead now for the Old Forge Blue Devils in this Class A quarterfinal. Here's some runs, John, by Cooper Califano and the rest of the pack.
Yeah. Just waiting for some contact. Maz running up ahead, and then Cooper Califano into the secondary. See you later, Old Forge.
Now, 68-yard drive, and it only took 4 plays. Califano doing the deal one more time. Give a lot of credit, John, to the coaching staff of Old Forge. They do a nice job every year. And, you know, they got all the film they needed, and whatever they needed on this team, they broke it down. They pinpointed the weaknesses, and they're taking advantage of it.
Like every time Old Forge kicks off, they've done a great job so far. But as you said, Coach Schubeck saying, we got to make sure every time we do it right.
This time Mason does get it. He's contained, and he's knocked down about the 40-yard line. So the Lancers down 19. So here's our Salerno's Cafe trivia question, John, to you and everyone out there. Of course, in 2013, Old Forge lost in the state finals, 15-14, to end the season 14-2. What two teams did Old Forge lose to in 2013? Don't answer yet, John. Let's give your people at home to look it up on Max Preps. One was a team in the district, and of course, one was in the state final. So here's McDevitt. They leave Bryson in, and another flag. I'm not keeping flags, but I will get how many penalties at the half. We have to be in double digits and beyond, John.
Full start on the offense. Still first down.
This one going against the Lancers. We've had 5 touchdowns tonight, none inside the Toyota red zone. They all come outside the 20. Big plays here in PV. Bryson taken down after a yard gain.
Canarella again following, pursuing, keeping the motor going. Old Forge D-backs played about 10 to 12 yards off the receivers on that with the 1st and 15. So give it a little bit of a cushion. You see Bryson look over to the right-hand side first and tries to come back, and then Canarello just kind of keeps following him down the line and wraps him up at the 35-yard line.
Again, in 2013, Old Forge lost 2 games. One was in the state finals and one was in the regular season. Who did they lose to? I think John knows. Out quickly, Space and Mason. Knocked down Mozaleski, short of the first down, near the 42-yard line. So here's the answer, John, in the Salerno's Cafe trivia question. Did you have that?
Dunmore North Catholic, yep.
Yep. Do you remember the Dunmore score?
I do not. I remember they beat him in the regular season.
Yep.
And the Old Forge came back in the district championship game.
I know the district championship score. Do you remember that? It was tight.
It was tight.
7-6.
7-6.
7-6 they won at Old Forge. I was there.
Regular season was tight, too.
Yeah, it was very tight, like 16-13 or something. Yeah. Bryson chased again. Another sack for Old Forge. Califano in there, along with Hobbs and Harris. Troy Harris, 2nd sack of the year.
Well, Bryson, again, holding on to this football. Mozaleski comes with the heat, and then Old Forge trying to wrap it up, and they do. Nice job over there for the Blue Devils are wrapping that thing up. Troy Harris.
5th sack of the first half for the Blue Devils. Lancers on the punt. Bishop McDevitt will get the second half kick. Good snap. Hobbs picks it up, sheds a couple tackles still on his feet. Hobbs powering his way for yardage. Flag late behind the play, not sure where that's going to be. He's up to the 35-yard line.
Might have a block in the back in here late.
Yeah, it did come real late. Here's the play again, John. Just pure effort by number 10.
Yep.
One thing I did notice on the film from McDevitt, John, poor tackling, and it was evident right there. He broke 5 of them.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the receiving team. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
Came late behind the play. Probably not a wise block or personal foul, so we'll back up Old Forge. 3 timeouts remaining for Bishop McDevitt if they want to use them before the half. So Old Forge starts this drive at their 13. There's Robbie Brett, number 53 in there for Bishop McDevitt. Old Forge came into this game averaging 30 points per game, John. The Lancers defense was giving up 22. They've already given up more than that in the first half, has Bishop McDevitt. All kinds of movement up front. Another flag comes in. Coming up at the half, we'll hear from Amanda Cool again.
Encroachment on the defense. Still first down.
Amanda will introduce John Mandola's story in this week's sports show, which was an interview with 3 guys doing great things for the Dunmore Bucks, as the Bucks will take on West Catholic tomorrow at Northern Lehigh at 1 o'clock in the Class AA quarterfinals. Aaron Dugan will preview the Fox 56 Sports Show, and then John and I will bring you the Old Forge highlights from the first half as they're up 19. McDevitt doesn't seem like they want to stop the clock, John. 8 yards on that carry.
You see a point of attack right here. Califano just puts his body down. Maz getting hat on hat over there.
Quarterback safety Joey Gutowski went off twice with a knee injury. He's been taken into the locker room via cart, but he wasn't limping around, so that's the good news. Could be just a bruise as Mozaleski gets a first down. But how about the domination, though, John, up front, and the power from Old Forge in this first half?
Yeah, they're showing it right now. And again, you want to keep that clock moving, get away with your lead here. Maybe Califano could break another one, who knows?
Cooper again through. Couple yards on that, and that should do it. So the Blue Devils of Old Forge have traveled to Monroe County, and they're showing what District 2 football is all about. They have the 19-point lead at the half of this Class A quarterfinal. So your halftime score, Old Forge 26, Bishop McDevitt 7.
This is a Fox 56 Sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
Back to Pleasant Valley High School in Broadheadsville. You're watching the PIAA Single A quarterfinal. Old Forge 26, Bishop McDevitt 7 at the half. I'm Aaron Dugan. We're so glad you could join us tonight. Bob Ide and John Mendola up in the booth. It's been a pretty good first half. We're going to take a look now what we have on the Fox 56 Sports Show tonight at 11. We'll talk to the Wilkes University basketball team. Bob Ide stopped by there earlier in the week to talk with second-year head coach Izzy Metz about the talent they have back this year, including Pittston area grad Steve Stravinsky and Abington Heights grad Clay Basiliga. We'll hear from both of those guys. Also, I stopped by Nanticoke to talk with the girls basketball team. They have 3 returning starters from a team that went 21-5 last year. They were conference champs, made it to the district semifinals, so they're hoping to have another successful season. We'll talk to some of those girls and Coach Alan Yanjayeski. And this week's In the Spotlight, John Mendola chats with some of the running backs from Dunmore High School. Of course, they play West Catholic tomorrow. We'll also talk with the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins goaltenders, Matt Murray and Tristan Jari, both having fantastic seasons. Matt Murray, of course, the AHL goaltender of the year last year, and Tristan Jari, he's just a 20-year-old goalie, but he's had the best start for any goalie in the Penguins organization ever. So he's having a fantastic season, and that's all tonight. And we'll also talk with their head coach, Mike Sullivan. So make sure you check that out 11 p.m. on Fox. And as I mentioned earlier, Bob Ide and John Mandola are joining us in the booth, and they're going to have some stats and highlights from a very chilly night here in Broadheadsville. You can see my breath. So stay with us. We'll have much more on MyTV WQMY.
This is a Fox 56 Sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome back to Pleasant Valley High School, everyone, in Broadheadsville, Monroe County. We're at the half of this Class A quarterfinal game between Bishop McDevitt and Old Forge. We bring it inside the booth now, Bob and John. And John's sporting the short sleeves tonight, John. I got the long sleeves out. You're a tough guy, huh?
Well, we got heat in here.
Yeah,
we're not used to that in the press box.
And we have a small press box, so we're making good though.
Absolutely.
We're making good. Boy, how about Old Forge though? They come out, they establish what they want to do, and Cooper Califano, boy, already 17 carries, 182 yards.
Yeah, and they've kept the foot to the gas pedal with the team like McDevitt. That's what you need to do, and they've done it. You see Cooper Califano bursting through on this first drive for the Blue Devils of Old Forge, and pay dirt right off the bat. And then they do it a little bit of defense. Mazaleski coming up, making a big play. Of course, Gutowski a little banged up, but he made a play there. And then here's Joey scrambling, getting the ball downfield for a first down. And then Cooper Califano over to that right-hand side, Bob. Get to the end zone. See the defense here, knocking it away. Excellent job by Horn. Califano one more time, getting into space. That offensive line doing a great job. And then a little pursuit over there from Harris with the sack.
5 sacks, minus 36 yards for McDevitt, but they have a little bit of offense themselves. Mason just 3 carries for 29 yards, but the big play right there.
Yeah, the touchdown pass, of course, that to Macon. You see Califano getting pursued here by the defense. It looked for a drive or two that McDevitt was figuring Old Forge out. Then they came back. They do complete that pass to Mason, but that Old Forge defense bend, didn't break just once. That was it.
So Bishop McDevitt has 75 yards of total offense, 7 yards rushing for a team that came in averaging 131 yards on the ground. They have 69 yards through the air. Bryson, the quarterback, is 4 for 5. Old Forge on the other side, 265 total yards, 222 on the ground, 43 in the air. So 5 sacks again for 36 yards. Real impressed with the Old Forge defense.
Yeah, I mean, they've been pursuing. They've been getting in the backfield after the quarterback. Able to sack Max Bryson, the quarterback, has been huge. Now, will they make that switch and go with Dante Mason? A little bit more of a scrambler, could get outside the pocket and cause some trouble. But again, right now, Old Forge possessing the ball here in the second half, running the football, trying to eat up that clock as much as they could.
From a rushing standpoint, Bishop McDevitt has only run 2 guys, Mason and Bryson. Vince DeLeo, their running back, who has 898 yards coming in, hasn't touched the ball yet. So maybe a little bit of coaching mistake. Look for him a little bit more here in the third quarter, I think, in the second half.
Yeah, well, we'll see what Old Forge could do. Of course, we're not counting on number 3, Joey Gutowski, back out there. So they'll go with what was worked for them. It's been Cooper Califano. That offensive line has been outstanding. You mentioned the defense, but some credit to the offensive line, but also to number 4 for Old Forge.
Mazaleski.
Mazaleski has done a nice job. Of course, Brendan is, just a 10th grader, but playing really well tonight, fired up.
Yeah, DeLeo did have that 1 catch to begin the game, and that's it. So both teams are cutting on the field. We're coming down from that 3-minute extra time of warm-ups, and then when we come back, we'll have the second half play. Old Forge up 19 over Bishop McDevitt.
This is a Fox 56 Sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome back. There you see the Old Forge Blue Devils looking for their 13th win on the year, a big one, sending them possibly to another Eastern Final, their second time in 3 seasons. So John, I guess if you're Old Forge, no changes at the half. Not much. You just got to warn your team. McDevitt's going to come out, and they're going to have a little run. You just have to overcome that.
Yep, again, you got to still do what you're doing, pursue, wrap up. I mean, we have big guys up front making tackles. Michael Canarella at 6'1", 255 has had a good motor tonight. You got to continue that quest up front with what's worked for you all night, flying around with the football. One of those concerns, as you see, the veteran coach for McDevitt, Pat Manzi, done it 33 seasons, 188 wins, 150 losses, 5 ties, 4th all-time in the Philadelphia Catholic League.
One other score from a local team tonight. It's the Class 3A quarterfinal, Saucon Valley and Selinsgrove. Saucon Valley, of course, beat Scranton Prep last week. In the third quarter, it's all Saucon Valley out of District 11. The score 35-0. Of course, Dunmore and Southern Columbia will play their respective games tomorrow in Class AA. So Aaron Dugan had a chance to talk to Mike Schuback, and what did the coach have to say, Aaron?
Well, he was definitely happy with some of the things he saw in that first half, but he said this game is far from over. They have some really quick kids that they want to keep their eye on. He also wants them to keep playing hard on the line of scrimmage. He wants to keep an eye on number 10, number 1, number 3. I also asked him about quarterback Joey Gutowski, and as I kind of figured, he is out for the game, guys.
Thank you, Aaron. Yep, he didn't look good after that second try, so if Old Forge can win this, John, and look for him and see what he can get back in next week. But Cariotti doing a nice job. He's very good at that. He's been there before.
And that's why, you get other guys ready if something happens to one of your best players. Unfortunately, Joey goes down, so now other guys are going to have to step up. And you have a lead. Now you just have to run that clock, gain some yards, maybe score another touchdown or so, and keep this McDevitt team corralled the best you could. As you see Mason now getting ready to return this kickoff for Bishop McDevitt out of District 12, the Royal Lancers. Dante Mason is a senior with this squad. Number 5, the other guy, Devin Nichols, he's a senior as well.
Jared Horn tees it up, and we are underway getting set to be underway for the second half of this Class A quarterfinal. Again, a squib kick taken up by Keith Cole, and Bishop McDevitt will start this second half at their own 43-yard line. So the Lancer coaching staff making some changes, I'm sure, at the half.
Max Bryson is coming out to address his huddle. He's the junior.
Saw a lot of flags in that first half, 13 overall between both teams.
Califano going to press Mason in the slot.
Bryson, the quarterback. Intercepted, trying to get it to Mason. This is Horn. Horn with running room up inside Lancer territory to the 33-yard line. Big interception from Jared Horn.
Beautiful way to start for the Old Forge Blue Devils. Horn, he's a little slow over there after that. Mazaleski crushed his guy. You see Bryson's ball gets away from him, goes high. It's Horn. Devastating block right there from Mazaleski, and then Horn gets some yardage. It hits his head off that turf a little hard.
Again, it's a very cold night. Temperatures in the 30s. This turf can be hard. We already seen Gutowski get bitten by the turf bug. He's out with an apparent knee injury. So here comes Califano, big first half. He's wrapped up quickly. Mason shooting in there.
Yeah, nice job from Mason getting around the legs, as it looked like Califano was going to break through, but Mason made the tackle. You see the hat on hat. Excellent job up front from Old Forge of trying to make some blocks. Trevor Brown, one of those guys. It might have been Canarella as well, but then they get into the secondary, and then You see what number 10 did, Dante Mason.
So the Lancers wrapping up Califano again.
Lockhart again on the tackle. Lockhart coming from the backside. You know, sometimes they say don't block the backside guy. He's pretty darn quick. You got to try to find him. But so many guys up front for them right now to, you know, try to find somebody. But that's how Cooper Califano, so many guys pursuing. They don't get him at the line of scrimmage, and Califano's able to break through and break free.
Third long on the way for the Blue Devils. All kinds of movement, and this one may be going against Old Forge. Harris may be over the tight end spot. Again, this officiating crew out of District 3, the Reading area. Alan Lubas, our referee tonight. Cariotti's coming off applauding.
Snap, dead ball, encroachment on the defense. Still third down.
Here's again, nice replay.
There you see McDevitt coming across the neutral zone. And then Old Forge had a little movement, and they call it against the Royal Lancers.
Inside, Califano hits the hole, and he's gone. 5 alive, Cooper Califano, this time 26 yards. That's another Lenahan at MC Old Forge touchdown from Cooper Califano. And they're unable to stop the senior tonight, John.
Look at the blocking from this offensive line. Pancake, Seal, and Cooper Califano. Touch me down.
208 yards now for Cooper Califano, and we're only in the third quarter. So, Old Forge opened the game with a Califano touchdown. They opened the third quarter. On their first possession of the third with a Califano touchdown. Horn's extra point is no good. But Old Forge now extends their lead, John, 32-7.
Great job from the Blue Devils. Califano. See the block up front. Christian Mitchell seals his guy. He had a little guy on him. Just turned his hips, steered him one way, and that's what you're getting. Undersized guys. The speed is being handled right now by the girth of the Old Forge Blue Devils offensive line.
Again, the winner of this one playing either Bishop Guilfoyle or Camp Hill. And the score we have is Bishop Guilfoyle 31, Camp Hill 3 at the half. So that means Old Forge will be, if they win this game, if it's a long way away, on the road a little bit, maybe in between somewhere, but a lot of time to speculate and figure out where that's going to be.
Central Mountain, maybe?
Yeah, maybe again.
Guilfoyle's out in District 6 still.
Yep.
That's pretty far out there on 80.
Hits it up, man. Old Forge recovers the kick.
Well, the ball is bouncing Old Forge's way. Cooper Califano. How about it?
Might be cold, but if you're an Old Forge fan, you're warming up tonight. The live ball after 10 yards. That probably they're checking if it went 10 yards, John. Again, they're not going to kick it to number 10, Mason. So they've been squibbing it all night long. And they have the ball inside Lancer territory at the 49.
Who do you think is going to get it? Cooper Califano?
I would think. They're not going to put the ball in the air at this point. Good tackle on the inside by Mason and by DeLeo. Derek Mason loses his helmet. He has to go out for a play. But nice tackle, though, on Califano. They got to him that time.
Yeah, nice job by McDevitt. You see Mason. And he was upset. He said Califano lifted his helmet off and looked like his right hand. He was just, I think, trying to maybe get a little leverage there.
Could have been a fumble, too, but the whistle probably blew.
Yep.
So Lancers going for the ball. Down to this one. Mozaleski on the inside. He's got room. He's off to the races. Mozaleski, touchdown, Old Forge. 50 yards. His 5th touchdown of the year for Brendan Mozaleski, and it's another Lenahan and Dempsey Old Forge touchdown. And this one has been blown open by the Blue Devils here in the 3rd quarter. Ground and pound, John, and they're pounding Bishop McDevitt. Back to Winkoff. The only trouble they've had tonight is with the extra points. They're going to go for 2. John, we wouldn't have an extra point.
12 people for McDevitt. What do we got here?
They're backing up the other way now. It's going to go against Old Forge. But John, another extra point and another flag.
Yeah, every time.
Just about.
I think they're going to kick it. This is not. Always something you can improve on, right?
Kick is up and no good. But again, Old Forge has broken this one open in the Class A quarterfinal. They add another touchdown. This time, though, it's number 4.
Well, it's the holiday season. That is for sure, between Old Forge and McDevitt. You want to load the box? You better wrap the box as the Blue Devils finish it off with Mozaleski.
We are back in Monroe County, Broadheadsville. Old Forge broken this one open in the 3rd quarter. Now a 31-point lead out of the district over the District 12 team, Bishop McDevitt. This time, number 11, Max Bryson, the quarterback, falls on it, and here comes the offense now from the Lancers, down 31. They have the ball at the 41-yard line. John, since that loss to Lake Lehman, Old Forge probably went back to the drawing board. Some players got some more confidence, got healthy. What type of change have you seen from Old Forge since then?
Well, they went through a stretch of the schedule that, I think they were able to try to get a little healthier, try to execute, do some things that they do for Old Forge football, and refocus a little bit.
Mason loses the ball, and it recovered by Old Forge. Jerry Hobbs, 5'10 senior, has the ball, and now everything going the Blue Devils' way.
You can see the Blue Devils are a little winded. They're not used to running around this much. You get this far in the state playoffs, you run a little bit more and more and more. And Mason, the guy they feared, coughs up that football.
Total offense, Old Forge 342, McDevitt 76. McDevitt came into this game averaging 278 yards on the ground. They haven't lost in 5 weeks. But they've run into a team, John, that you would categorize as what?
Hungry, physical right now.
Yeah.
You know, they are playing with pride, Blue Devil pride, and playing some physical football.
Do you think this team has overachieved this year? I mean, people knew Class A District 2, but now the way things are going tonight.
This was a big step for them. I think last week people were thinking, I think they could beat Wellsboro, but this week, no matter who the opponent was going to be, they weren't sure. I think Mike Schuback would be the first to tell you along the way, hey, you know, we feel like we could win a district championship this year. We could get into the state playoffs, and maybe we could win a first-round game. But that second round, you know, we weren't sure who we were going to get matched up again. That'd be a real nice accomplishment. So I think so in that regard.
Well, they've done it their way, though. They wanted to keep it on the ground, use that bigger line that they have, that advantage, and Califano and Mozaleski have found the holes. But really, I think it's the defense. The way they've contained this fast offense from Bishop McDevitt.
Full start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Saw Harris move, number 8, a couple times tonight.
A couple of boo-boos we've seen from Old Forge this evening.
Timeout on the field called by Mike Schuback and the Blue Devils. So Mike Schuback still coaching there. His team might be up 31, but there's a lot to learn. Here's what Bishop McDevitt's gone through, 7-6 coming in. Of course, they play in the Philadelphia Catholic League, so play a team from New Jersey in there. West Catholic plays Dumore tomorrow, John. They lost to them 48-13. Really, as we go to the second page, it's really they've gone on a roll. Through the District 1 playoffs, the sub-regional, winning District 12, I should say, and then the sub-regional. And then beating Marion last week with a couple kickoff returns.
Yeah, McDevitt, again, playing that schedule, and their veteran coach, Manzi. Been some closures down there in Philadelphia, so you know they've acquired some athletes from different schools in the area.
Right, 3-5 they finished last year. Califano just looking for that hole. Loses the ball, no whistle. And it looks like we'll go over to Bishop McDevitt. So the first turnover of the night for the Old Forge is recovered by Keith Cole and Bishop McDevitt, and they'll have it inside their own territory at the 36.
You see him over here just tackling the football. Just hold on, and then he rips it out. Nice job there on the defensive end by number 6, Tyler Shelton, the 6'1", 200-pound senior.
Still 6:36. We're only in the third quarter. Old Forge has done a nice job tonight containing the big play makers. for Bishop McDevitt. Quarterback Max Bryson throws it out of bounds as he was in the grasp. And there's the flag.
Illegal forward pass, intentional grounding on the offense. That's also a loss of down. Second down.
Well, the first thing that went right tonight for Old Forge is winning the toss, I think. They had the ball. No matter if they scored. So I felt you felt the nerves from McDevitt. The penalties, of course, that's a big sign. Not knowing what to do. I mean, it's a different task, different type of game when you're in the playoffs, John.
Yeah, and they had to travel. You know, last week they had some home cooking down their way. And this week, you know, you have travel up to the Poconos. You know, a lot of traffic out there, holiday season, people driving all over the place. So, you know, that'll add to some of the things that you're thinking about.
Another flag comes in. This stops the play. John, we may be home by midnight. Well, it's about halfway. It's about an hour and a half each way from both schools. But again, McDevitt, they don't really get out of the Philadelphia area that much to play football.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of these kids for Old Forge were in that championship game, may not have played. They have the experience the last 2 years, last couple of years.
Right, there's ups and downs, you know, and how teams are looking over the years. And right now, you know, Old Forge has done a real nice job with the players they have and playing the single A. That's where they belong. That's where they'll be next year when the expansion happens. You know, Valley West last week, they have like 480 males or something, and, you know, Parkland has 1,200 and some. So there's a huge difference in those type of schools, whereas single A, you know, you may get a difference of, you know, 30, 40 kids.
Timeout on the field, this time called by Bishop McDevitt. Selinsgrove has lost their AAA quarterfinal game tonight to Saucon, 35-7. Here's what Old Forge has gone through, John.
Yeah, BGAR, a tough one against Lakeland. They had a fight in that one. They took care of Hanover. Like Lehman, it was a close game, and then Lehman blew it open late. And then Riverside, of course, Mid-Valley, a couple of shutouts with that defense. Trail, Jervis always, you know, scores a couple of touchdowns and plays tough. Of course, Carbondale and Holy Cross this year. And then they got through those playoffs. Played Susquehanna a couple of weeks in a row. And then beat Trail and Wellsboro.
Wellsboro very young in District 4. Look for them next year. Pass out from Mason. He gets knocked down, and it goes incomplete. Trying to hit Macon out there. Again, third down now on the way.
We're trying to break containment out there. Salavanti chases him. Harris is right there in the grill, but ball makes it out to Macon. He's got to catch it.
Now, if you're Old Forge, I mean, we're only midway through the third quarter, believe it or not. It's just a matter of you want to get out healthy. You already lost Joey Gutowski tonight. Again, movement. I saw someone move early, but did they call timeout?
I saw Macon move.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
Dead ball. Delay on the
Nope.
offense.
It was.
Still third down.
Well, Bishop McDevitt kids not used to this, especially over the last 5 weeks, as I said. Biggest loss this year was to West Catholic, 48-13. Biggest win this year was over KIPP Du Bois, 50-12.
Of course, our Dunmore Bucks tomorrow will take on West Catholic. A lot of buzz going on around West Catholic and how good that football team is. But Dunmore's been pretty darn good with Jack Henses over the years, too. See the coverage over there from Hobbs. I think you'd have to look at it. Dunmore's an underdog tomorrow against West Catholic. But you never count out those Bucks.
No.
I think they were an underdog last week to Notre Dame Green Pond, and look what they did.
A high-scoring back-and-forth affair. Southern Columbia also on the other in that bracket of the eastern side of Class AA. They take on Berks Catholic tomorrow. And that should be a battle. Berks Catholic beating while missing pretty well last week. Kind of surprised some people around the state. Boy, well, how about a matchup, though, between Dunmore and Southern Columbia to see who goes to the state final, huh?
That would be something. I don't know how it's going to go tomorrow for both area teams. I mean, both have strong opponents, so we'll see how it works out. But it would be pretty darn interesting.
Well, this is what we do, John. We speculate and we talk. And in a game 38-7 is how we waste time.
Old Forge is doing a great job of staying in command and getting first downs now. Blue Devils, excellent effort up front. Let's read those offensive lineman names. Dylan Wilcox, Michael Canarella, Christian Mitchell, Andrew Bellis, Trevor Brown, and number 4, Brendan Mazaleski. The underclassman has done a fine job at the fullback position.
Cariotti trying to hit Hobbs, and Hobbs had some running room on that right side. Little quick pass. Brings up second down.
Cariotti lays it out there. Hobbs usually catches everything.
Yeah.
That's one thing Coach Schuback said. He said, he'll catch just about everything. That one just a hair in front. Still might have been able to grab it. So we'll reset here on second down.
Mazaleski powering his way forward for about 5. 3rd and 5 on the way now.
Body language right now of McDevitt is they're worn down from this Old Forge offensive line.
Well, that could be, probably is one of the main reasons why the success Dunmore, Old Forge, and really District 2 has had last few years. Just they've overpowered some people that aren't used to seeing this kind of size.
Nope, take the pride in what they do, and they do it well.
And they do it in the offseason, and they do it in the weight room.
Prior snap, full start on the offense, still 3rd down.
I've lost count of penalties. I know we're near 20. And you would think, by this time of the year, John, you shouldn't have that many penalties. It's your 14th game. But again, different officials.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Califano still moving forward.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
He's going to get him tossed.
Can't, yeah.
Well,
this is what we don't want to
Nope.
see. Well, he's definitely going out for a play.
I think he's going for the game.
Well, you probably should.
I haven't seen that.
No.
So, and again, here Mike Schubeck. Guys, this is what we do right now.
Yep.
We play football. You don't listen to the crowd. You don't do anything wrong. You just play the game, and we get out of here with a win. That's what you want to tell your kids.
Well,
don't want anybody else to get hurt.
Old Forge has a lot to lose because if you get tossed out of a game, you can't play next week.
Yep.
And right now, they're moving on.
Yep.
McDevitt has nothing to lose. And with the way these officials are calling the game tonight, I'm sure McDevitt's not only frustrated from the score, from the amount of penalties they have, and we're not even done with the third quarter.
Yep.
So they'll take control, I think.
Yeah, Salavanti, some nice composure there on that.
So the ball is in the Toyota red zone for the first time tonight. Even though we've had a bunch of scores, they've all come from outside the 20. Califano stood up. Califano comes up limping. This one getting a little chippy, John.
Salavanti pancaked his blocker as he got his frustrations out. Got a big roar from the crowd. And prior to that, there's been some plays. We've seen some good sportsmanship tonight. Guys picking each other up, little pats on the back, that type of stuff. So, it's not everybody, in a game. And a couple players once in a while that get a little out of control.
Cooper, no yardage on that. Maybe one.
Right now, you're Mike Schubeck. You're running that clock as long as you could.
Yep.
You want to get out of here, be as healthy as you could. You see Salavanti one more time.
So Forge inside the Toyota red zone. Under 2 minutes to play. Only in the third quarter here. Mozaleski with room. Mozaleski. No flags. Touchdown, Old Forge. Another Lenahan and Dempsey touchdown for the Blue Devils. $19 yards, and this is blown open now, John. Now you're in the mercy rule.
Trap up front. Wilcox pulls. Mozaleski finishes. And another touchdown for Maz.
Horns kick. Gets through. So the Blue Devils of Old Forge came out of the locker room. And they've extended the lead now 45-7.
Tomorrow night on Fox 56 Saturday College Football, the Big Ten Football Championship game, Michigan State versus Iowa. Spartans return for their third championship game, while the Hawkeyes make their first appearance, having won a school record 12 games this season. Fox 56 Saturday College Football pregame at 7, kicks off at 7:30, only on Fox 56.
Kickoff is 8 o'clock. Kickoff is 8 o'clock. Big Ten Championship. Who do you like, John? I'll take Michigan State, playing really well. Bigger wins.
They've had every luck scenario in the world.
You're wrong. Yeah. Yep. Michigan. Yep.
Iowa maybe pulls the rabbit out of the hat.
Okay. It could be. Iowa's not going to dazzle you.
Everybody's going to say Michigan State.
Oh,
tomorrow.
everybody has.
Yeah. So, that's how Iowa will pull it out. Everybody's on the bandwagon. Michigan State, you're right. They played some excellent football this year. I happen to probably see about 5 plays from them this year, but 2 of them were the ones that were pretty darn dramatic for them. The other 3 were when they were paced at Penn State.
So we're heading towards a Bishop Guilfoyle Old Forge Eastern Final. Ball still on the turf. There you see the signal. Boy, when the ball bounces your way, John. Ian Hook. Hopefully they save some of this for next week.
Yeah. Football's on the ground. There it is. Where's the cut of pizza? Where's the cut of pizza? I got it. And the Old Forge guys grab it, and somehow they pull that out.
Old Forge has the ball again. Zaleski in. Mason in there. Lockhart. Vince DeLeo, linebacker, running back, threw his helmet at Mondo Salavanti. Remains on the sideline. We can only speculate that he's been thrown out, John. Or it's a coach's decision.
Yeah. Hey, how about Coach Olsemer reminding us that Brandon Clemens playing for Michigan State, the Del Val product.
That's right.
Nice career he's had.
Absolutely. He's played on some very good teams with the Spartans. So a local product, want to watch it then on Fox tomorrow night.
Thanks, Coach Olsemer, for checking in, watching us tonight.
Time's the kick, John? 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock tomorrow.
8 o'clock.
Got it down. Cooper Califano over on that left-hand side. Nice pursuit over there. Number 51 making the tackle for the Lancers.
And that will do it. Another long third quarter, but one dominated by the Old Forge Blue Devils. There's the score. Old Forge on the way to the Eastern Final as we head to quarter number 4.
This is a Fox 56 Sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
Cold, brisk evening in Broadheadsville, Pleasant Valley High School. It's the Class A quarterfinal game, and the Old Forge Blue Devils looks like they're on their way, John, to an Eastern Final for the second time in 3 years. What a third quarter, though. I mean, they've run onside kicks, big runs. They've done it every way, and they've done it with defense, too.
Mm-hmm. Great job. What a great game plan. Mike Schubeck talking to him last week, and he was just trying to find some film.
Oh, yeah.
Must have found enough.
Yeah. Well, could be looking for film on Bishop Guilfoyle. Califano over 200 yards rushing. Breaks it to the outside. He already has 5 touchdowns. Looking for 6. He's got it. 33 yards for Cooper Califano. It's another Lenahan at MC. Touchdown for the Blue Devils. Woo!
It's funny. Sometimes you have some sources that say this team's fast, this team, wait till you see them. Hey, Old Forge is fast. And I'm sure all the Old Forge Blue Devils are saying, we got our own speed. Cooper Califano, look at that breakaway speed. And he takes it one more time.
Old Forge, the latest rankings in the state. Class A, number 3. Blocked Horn. Had trouble with the extra points, John, but it hasn't mattered. 51-7. The score now. The only thing that hasn't gone right tonight has been the extra points.
That might be one of the few things that Mason has done all night. Nice young man, but not able to make too many plays. But he's been in on every extra point that Old Forge has attempted. He's been right there. He got that one. And you watch it here, Califano. Let's bounce. Bounces to the outside, and they cannot catch him as the Blue Devils punch in another one.
Califano near 250 now on the ground. And Coach Schubeck said he wanted to run the ball, and they've run the ball right down their throat. I don't think McDevitt has seen this all year, except for maybe West Catholic. But
hard to believe without Joey Gutowski for a good portion of this game, they put up that many points. But Old Forge, the real deal.
Well, they've only thrown one pass, I think, since he's gone out. And that was that little swing pass that Hobbs dropped. They haven't had to, and they've kept it away from Mason. They keep it away again. Nichols. Good special teams play tonight, up to the 30. And we really have not seen a lot of this offense in the second half. Interception for McDevitt. Again, the onside kicks. A fumble. A Mason. I mean,
yeah, a lot of turnovers.
A lot of turnovers from Bishop McDevitt tonight.
Well, you'll like the color scheme next week of Bishop Guilfoyle.
Okay.
They have a nice color scheme.
You keeping it a secret or what?
Well, we'll see if we see it next week,
oh,
right?
Well, maybe we will. A lot has to happen. Again, without sponsors, we want to thank all of our sponsors tonight who've come through from the whole area, not just Old Forge, to bring you this game. But there's still some games to be played tomorrow, and we're not going to say if we will be anywhere next week. We don't want to go that far yet.
Now it's great to just be able to give you some football.
Yeah.
We're very grateful here, and of course, you hear people staying in on a Friday night say, "Hey, who you covering this week? Who do you got?"
Yeah.
Well, we got Old Forge tonight, and people are home enjoying it.
Last week we gave the crew off for Thanksgiving. I must have had 20 people ask me, "What game you doing?" I was telling them we gave the crew off this week. You know. Again, a lot of mistakes in the backfield from McDevitt. Seen that a couple times.
There's that swarming tackling right now from Old Forge. They do have some younger
Yep.
guys in there, but hey, still running around with the football. That's what you want to do. You're going to have to do every game here in the state playoffs, and this one's no different. It's Old Forge ready to make that next step. A couple of guys miss. Then Salavanti and crew kind of make sure he doesn't get too far.
That Ian Hook, number 24, John, sophomore. He's been in a lot of plays tonight. He's called his name a couple of times.
5'8", 160 pounds.
Yeah. His first handoff tonight to a running back that I can remember. And this, Amir Lockhart's wrapped up. DeLeo's on the bench, been thrown out. Number 3.
Lockhart has done a nice job defensively. See the little misdirection. Jonathan Herrera and Armando Salavanti in on that tackle.
Talked about him in the pregame, John. It seems like 14 hours ago, but big reason why this defense is so good. Coming in with 156 tackles. That's just remarkable. Rice on another punt. Hobbs tries to field it, fumbles it, but gets it back. Won't want to watch that on film on Monday. You're lucky you're up 51-7.
Well, SATs tomorrow, Bob.
Oh, yeah?
So, you know.
I'm not taking them.
Some of the student athletes will be we'll taking them tomorrow. Of course, basketball, wrestling, swimming season kicking off this weekend. Still some rifle out there. Indoor track and field. You know, we're fitting all the sports in.
Yeah, we are. Here's that punt. Probably ill-advised by Hobbs. Just let it go and bounce at this point. Don't need any problems. Cariotti's come on after the Katowski injury. He'll have a week to get ready.
Nice tackle over there. And again, you see the sportsmanship there from number 2 for the Lancers. Lockhart just wrapping up Califano. And Cooper Califano will come out. Going to be replaced by number 24, Ian Hook. And the crowd going to thank Cooper Califano. Get some rest. Get some water in you. And I think we'll hear maybe a little fire trucks in Old Forge tonight.
Yeah.
And maybe a little get-together at the field. That's been a tradition for them over the state playoffs. The whole town kind of seems to go to that field and hang out. Again, going low. That's the freshman in on the tackle on that one for Alio. Clock ticking, going to be under 7 minutes here.
Trying to confirm a report that Bishop Guilfoyle won their game with Camp Hill.
There's Califano on the sideline for the Blue Devils. Hey, nice when you can joke around a little bit and the game's still going on with your coaches and some of the staff members there. But one of those memorable nights. I mean, how often are you going to say, hey, I scored 5 or 6? I think he's up to 6 touchdowns, isn't he? And the game, you stop counting after, you know, a couple.
Old Forge outgained Bishop McDevitt in that third quarter, John. I don't think I've ever seen this. 135 to nothing in total yards in that third quarter. 396 to 76 advantage after 3. Just a remarkable effort.
Ian Hook on that carry, and again, some defenders there for the Royal Lancers of Bishop McDevitt out of District 12. Old Forge right now, again, just want to keep that clock moving and get up, pack it up, get back to their hometown. Fumble. The Royal Lancers may take this. Once again, a nice job. He's had a pretty good game for the Royal Lancers tonight. Amir Lockhart on the return. So a little miscue there for Old Forge. The block, the ball just kind of pops out and then just scoots right into Lockhart's hands.
Really, the only mistakes that Old Forge have had come here late in the game. Really a big third quarter for Old Forge, John. Blown this one open. So Bishop McDevitt's inside the Toyota red zone for the first time tonight. Their only score of the game came in that first quarter on a long touchdown throw. Since then, they've been shut out, quite frankly, by Old Forge. Again, nowhere to go.
Unloading now is Old Forge on that, as the quarterback just kept it. Max Bryson. I think Old Forge said, all right, we know what's coming, but we're coming right off the corner. And Califano over there to lead the charge.
Well, John, we have a couple of Northwoods Nissan players of the game. I think it's pretty easy.
Yep.
Califano, 6 TDs. Numero uno.
No doubt.
Zaleski, and I would have to say Mondo too.
Yep. Fumble again.
Fumble again.
Well, he's played a real nice game, 53. Michael Canarella should really get a nice round of applause. The 6'1", 255-pound senior. His motor has not stopped all night. He's been around the football. He's been chasing down this quarterback tonight. From a defensive standpoint, you got to be really pleased if you're Mike Schuback on what Canarella has done.
Yeah, he's been in the backfield a lot. He's another guy we could have player of the game, John, on the defensive side. A couple sacks, I think, as well. Big rush, nowhere to throw, and guess who, John?
Canarella. And again, you see the sportsmanship from Canarella with Bryson helping him up as we tick down here in quarter number 4 from Pleasant Valley High School. Bryson, the southpaw, looking around, and Canarella just holding on and gets another sack.
4th down now for the Lancers. Big rush. Bryson took a look and then he took off. Holding on to the ball inside the 10. He gets a 1st down. So it'll be 1st and goal for Bishop McDevitt. As you can see, the time still ticking here as we're in the mercy rule as well. Clock will start back up immediately. 2:23 right now. They didn't get a 1st down, huh?
No, it was 4th and goal. So now Old Forge will take over.
Okay, yep.
Old Forge calls a timeout to set the new guys in and what they're going to do and how they're going to run this clock out with just a little bit of time left.
So we don't want to speculate next week where the game will be played, but John, you didn't mention, last time we had Dunmore and a team from District 6, it was at Central Mountain High School.
Yep, that's a few years ago. This time goes by quick. I think it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, here's what we know we have on tap coming up, and we're going to get into basketball and get down into the Heartland Conference. Shamokin taking on Shikellamy on the 18th. And then some wrestling action. Del Valle and Scranton, the top 2 teams in AAA last year. And they're expected to be good as well. That'll be on January 6th, 2016, John.
Yeah, always great to get down to Shikellamy. A nice rivalry between Shamokin and Shikellamy, and, of course, some grappling action. Can't forget about those guys. Del Valle and Scranton should be an entertaining match.
Again, we'll try to bring you a game next week. We know Old Forge is playing on Friday night. Of course, look at where the game is, and always need sponsors to help out. And, of course, we're keeping our eye on two teams tomorrow, Dunmore and Southern Columbia as well. Inside. Hook gets the ball.
Old Forge still working some other guys in to get a little experience here and a little taste of what state playoff football is all about. And trying to milk that clock to make it perfectly where they can get 3rd and 4th down in and kind of just end this football game.
John, we have a number of penalties tonight. You want to guess?
19.
You're close. Over or under 19?
Under.
24.
Oh.
That's a lot of penalties in a high school football game. So no matter what, Old Forge gets the best of that. Looks like one more play and this will be over. To say this was a dominating performance, John, might be an understatement.
Yep. We kept waiting for it. I was hesitant all day. I'm sure there's some guy at home saying, you kept saying that McDevitt was going to do something they never did. But, you kept hearing people talk about him. And you watch a little bit of film and see, hey, boy, this team's pretty quick. They could do some stuff. But the Old Forge Blue Devils finished off McDevitt and just played physical football.
I think a lot of people expected Marion to be in this game. I think Marion expected to be in this game. And, McDevitt kind of surprised them. Well, that will do it. For the second time in 3 years, the Old Forge Blue Devils are going to be headed to the PIAA Class A Eastern Final. And it looks like they will take on Bishop Guilfoyle out of District 6. All zeros. Game is over. Final score, Old Forge 51.
This is a Fox 56 Sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
Well, a big win for the Old Forge Blue Devils, 51-7 over Bishop McDevitt. And they're headed to the Eastern Final to take on Bishop Guilfoyle out of District 6. Welcome back to Pleasant Valley, everyone. Bob John Mendola in the booth. Aaron Dugan's on the sideline getting some reports. And I believe she's ready now. She does. She has our players of the game brought to you by Northwoods Nissan. Let's go down to Aaron.
All right, we have our 3 players of the game here, Mondo Salavanti, Brendan Mozleski, and Cooper Califano. Mondo, we'll start with you. Defensively, it seemed like you guys had a plan of attack. You wanted to figure out what their weapons were and shut them down, and you did that.
Yeah, the whole goal tonight was we just needed to rally to the ball every play and do your job. Trust the guy next to you. Joey goes down with an injury. People are coming out here and there. Brendan, Cooper. Guys are filling in. Ian Hook did a great job filling in. Phil Palmer did a great job. It was a great team effort tonight.
You guys were definitely confident coming in with the season you had, but did you expect such a dominant performance?
I mean, 51-7 in the state quarterfinal. You don't really expect that. I mean, you always have confidence that you're going to win, but you never expect a 40-point blowout in the state quarterfinal.
Little things here and there, some penalties, some missed extra points. What do you want to work on this week for Bishop McGill?
Just fixing the little things. We got to come to practice. Obviously, celebrate tonight. We just won state quarterfinal, but we got to come in this week. We got to fix the little things, simple mistakes here and there, because Bishop Guilfoyle is a great team. It's going to take everything we got to beat them.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Move along to our next player of the game, Brendan Mozleski. Your second time in 3 years to the Eastern Final. How does that feel?
Actually, it's my first. I wasn't
the
on
team.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it feels great. It's the work ethic of the team. Every day at practice, it's do your 111, do your job, just go to work. We make the practices just as hard as the games, and we were prepared for the game.
Definitely prepared for this game, picking out certain people and shutting them down. Was that the plan all along?
Oh, yeah, we really zoned in the number 10. He was a great player, and we really tried to keep him inside. We know he had some speed, and we tried to keep him inside so he didn't beat us on the outside. Right. So, yeah, that was basically the plan. Contain the quarterback. We did everything right. We played good.
You did. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Move on to Cooper Califano, our unanimous player of the game, I'd say, with 6 touchdowns tonight. Did you expect this type of performance from yourself?
I did not expect this type of performance. I thought maybe 3 at most. I wasn't expecting this good of a game.
Take me through some of those touchdowns. What did you see out there?
Well, in the first one, I saw it was wide open to the outside, but then it got all closed down, so I had to cut it inside. Then my wide receivers made a great block to spring me at the end.
Joey going down, of course, a big blow to your team, but just tell me about some guys stepping in.
Well, that got us really going because we wanted to do this for him because we knew he worked his butt off all season to get to this and for him to not be able to play. So we knew we had to step it up and make it a good one for him.
As I mentioned before, just a couple little things, some penalties, some missed extra points. What are some things that you really want to focus on this week?
We want to focus on not jumping offsides because we did that quite a lot tonight.
All right, well, thanks a lot. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, Aaron, and congratulations, guys. Big win and a lot of experience. They're going to take that in and need it against Bishop Guilfoyle next week.
Well, they always have a lot of weapons at Bishop Guilfoyle. They could put the points up 38 tonight for them. So should be an interesting matchup for Old Forge next week.
Stay tuned where that game's going to be. No need to speculate, but you'll be hitting the road if you're on Old Forge. That's a definite, and maybe we will as well. One thing from this game that really sticks out for you as we wrap it up.
Physical play from Old Forge, able to finish defensively and offensively. I thought everybody finished their blocks. A lot of pancakes out there for Old Forge, and Califano finished with long touchdown runs.
Dominating performance from the Blue Devils tonight. The final score, once again, Old Forge 51, Bishop McDevitt 7. For the entire Fox 56 sports crew, for Aaron Dugan, for John Mendola, this is Bob Hyde saying so long and good luck to Dunmore and Southern Columbia tomorrow afternoon.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.